Hello guys, today we're going to learn about angles in a triangle. The first and more or less only rule you have to know is that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is, you guys probably already know this, is 180 degrees. That is, in this triangle here, we have A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees. This is really the most important concept concerning angles in a triangle, and as long as you apply this, there should be no problem solving the questions we'll be discussing later. Now moving on to the next topic, exterior angles. What are exterior angles? An exterior angle is the angle between a side and an adjacent side extended outward of a triangle. Here, when we extend the base of the triangle, this angle would be called the exterior angle. That is, the angle this side makes with the adjacent side which has been extended outward, as shown by the dotted lines. Now, what if I extend this side of the triangle? Is this also an exterior angle? Yes, it is an exterior angle. In fact, they are both equal as they are vertically opposite angles. And as you probably already know, vertically opposite angles are equal. Now, why are these angles called exterior angles? And why extend a side to measure it? Let me show it to you with a diagram. Here, let's imagine a man is walking in a straight line and then he makes a small turn. Now, how would you quantify the angle in which he turned? Did he turn, did he make a big turn? Did he turn 120, 150 degrees? No, he didn't. So how would you measure the angle in which he turned? For that, we have to measure the angle, his perceived path, the path he would have walked in, the angle that makes with the new path. And this would be around 30 degrees, which would accurately quantify the angle of the turn. And this also shows you why we have to extend a side to find the angle of the turn. And to state the obvious, the angle on the outside part of the polygon is being measured, and hence it's called an exterior angle. Now let's move to the next topic. What is the sum of external angles of a triangle? Here we have a right angled isosceles triangle. Now let's mark the angles of this triangle. We know it's an isosceles triangle, so we know two sides are equal, and the angles opposite to equal sides of a triangle are equal. So the three angles are 90, 45 and 45 degrees. Now let's extend the three sides of the triangle to calculate the external angles. Ensure that each side of the triangle is being extended only once, and here we have it for our right angle triangle. Now let's calculate the external angles. For our triangle here, the three external angles are going to be 135 degrees, 135 degrees, and the final one 90 degrees because it's a right angle triangle. So once you add these three angles, you would get a total of 360 degrees as shown here. Now something interesting for you to know is that the sum of exterior angles is 360 degrees for every polygon, not just triangles, it's true for every convex polygon. Now why is it 360 degrees for every polygon? Let's demonstrate it with a simple example. Here we have a man who's walking in a straight line, and he walks for a while and then he makes a slight turn. So let's call the exterior angle here as A. Then let's say he makes another small turn, and let's call this exterior angle as B. Then let's say the man makes another turn, and let's call it exterior angle C here. After this, he makes yet another turn. Let's call this angle D before making his final turn where he joins his initial path. And let's call this angle E. Now what can we say about the sum of the exterior angles A plus B plus C plus D plus E? When you take a look at the path he took, you see that he started from one position, took turns and ended at that very position. He went in a circle. In other words, he turned 360 degrees. So this was a very simple example of why the sum is 360 degrees. Let's take a square as an example to calculate the sum of external angles, exterior angles. Now, as you can see in this figure, each exterior angle of the square is 90 degrees, and their sum can be calculated as 90 times 4. So the total would be 360 degrees. Once more, we have obtained the sum to be 360 degrees. Now let's get back to triangles. Here we have a triangle with internal angles A, B, and C. Let's also draw its exterior angle as shown here. Now, what can we tell about the angles of this triangle? First, let's call this exterior angle as E. Here we know that the sum of A and E is 180 degrees because they are in a straight line. We also know that the sum of A, B, and C is 180 degrees. So from these two equations, we can come to the conclusion that E is equal to B plus C. This is something that is only true for triangles. That is, the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles of a triangle. This is a pretty helpful rule that will help you solve a few problems quickly, but even if you don't remember it, you should still be able to solve the problem without using this. Now, just to reiterate, remote means the further away, and what is near you is called adjacent. So in this case, B and C are the remote interior angles and A would be the adjacent interior angle. Now, although this topic is really simple, you should know that the questions can be quite tricky. So if you get stuck somewhere, all you need to do is take a few deep breaths and just remember that the only thing you need to know to solve it is that the sum of angles of the triangle is equal to 180 degrees. And if you apply it the right way, you should be able to solve the question. And let's move on to a few problems and see how tricky the questions can be.